Okay, we're going live for real this time. It was telling me, Facebook was telling me for some reason to turn my camera around as if it was going to be sideways, but I don't know. Now everything looks normal. So we can get started. I just want to give people a minute in case anyone wants to pop in live. I know most of you will probably watch this on the replay, but just give me a second here to get my notes back up. So I will try to check my computer from time to time to see if you have any questions. Let me just refresh my page here to see if I can see myself on the screen. It says we're live, but I don't really, oh, there it is. Okay. So if you do have any questions during the show, please just write them down below and I will check once in a while. I didn't see any questions on the invitation that I had sent out, on the invite I sent out, but a couple people did say they wanted to watch it on the replay. So even afterwards, if you're watching it on the replay, if you have some questions, you can write them down below and I will get to them later. So I'm just going to take a sip of coffee. And then we'll get started, because I know it's lunchtime for people, so if you are joining live, I don't want to take up your whole day. So I thought I would come on and talk about how you can get your blog ready for the holidays. And let me make sure I'm looking at the right spot. Okay. Sorry, I haven't done a live in a while. Sorry about that. How can you get your blog ready for the holidays? There are certain things I want to talk about that you can do to your blog itself, technically to your blog. And then there are some ideas for blog posts and what types of things that you can write about for the holidays to attract customers. So let's start with the blog post ideas first, because I think that's probably what most of you will want. I think the most obvious one is to create a curated list for people, shopping lists. So you can do multiples of these. So think about your target market and what kind of people you want to attract and who they would be buying gifts for. So if your target market and your company has a certain theme to it, like maybe you are you don't test on animals, or you have environmental concerns, or your brand is vegan, or your brand is hypoallergenic, or something like that. You want to attract people and talk about things that would be of interest to those people. So you don't want it to be just off the wall holiday topics that are kind of general for everyone. You want to really get specific here for your audience. And so today's talk will be mostly geared toward people who do have a shop associated with their blog, but not entirely, because there are fun things you can do to your blog as well. If you are not selling products or services, you could also try to make some money during the holidays by having affiliate links and becoming an affiliate for certain companies. You can very easily become an affiliate for something like Amazon, or there are affiliate companies out there like Rakuten, and there are a few of them out there that have their affiliates for department stores or all different kinds of brands. And you can make curated lists of those products too, and then you get a small percentage if people do follow that link. And for Amazon in particular, excuse me, if people follow a link from your website to Amazon, even if they don't buy that product, but they start shopping around on the Amazon site and then they end up buying something, you still get credit for bringing them to the site. So it could be a good way to make money during the holiday season. So even if you do sell your own products and services, if you make a curated list, blog posts like, gifts for mom or something like that, or gifts for hikers, or whatever is, would be particular to you, you can then sprinkle in these other products. So you can have, your balm or something that you make for fishermen or something. I'm just making these things up. But then you can also have items on that list that come from Amazon or Nordstrom or whatever affiliate that you are signed up for. So it's a great way to make a little holiday money. And you're also providing a service, because you're helping people. At gift time, people just run out of ideas sometimes. And a lot of times, they get really stressed out about it. So anything you can do to make their lives easier or to solve their holiday problems for them, they're great ideas for blog posts. Another idea for a blog post is to outline your shipping policies for the holidays and your return policies. Now, it's not like a super sexy fun post, but it's very informative, and I think that people really need to know those kind of things, because there's always people who are last minute shopping and they want to know what is the absolute day that they can, the last day that they can order from you and still get something in time for the holidays. And you may even want to offer things like that. Like, I know that people don't really like to have sales. When you're a handmade maker, you don't want to like always be discounting your products, because then, you're just taking away from your own profits. But you could offer free shipping during the holidays, or maybe expedited shipping. They pay for the regular shipping and you send it priority for free for no extra cost to them, or, different things that you can do to make it seem like, they're getting something extra, which they are. They're getting free shipping, without you having to actually put your product on sale. These are all things you can lay out in your blog posts, and also things that you can do to update your site. So another thing you can do, if you want to try to get people, like we always are, to sign up for our email list, you can do some holiday posts, and then offer something to them for free that they have to give you their email address for, like a shopping helper list or something, or with your branding on it, so where people can have like a little checklist that they can fill in the names of the people they're shopping for, whether or not they sent them a card, whether or not they sent them their gift yet, and if they've wrapped it, something that helps organize their holidays for them. Brand it with your own thing. Put your logo at the top, maybe put the important shopping days or the shipping days or something like around the bottom in the footer or something. And it's a great little gift for people. It's very useful for them, and you'll email it to them. So they're reading your blog post, they think, this could really help me make my shopping easier. They give you their email list, they download your little freebie. You can make it in something like Canva, or you can even make it in a word processing program and just save it as a PDF. Very easy to make, takes very little time, and it's something that you could offer for people and then get them on your email list so you can tell them about things that are going on the rest of the year. So they're just a couple ideas for what kinds of posts that you can do. You can also do, take a sip. You can also do a fun post about gift wrapping ideas, and of course use your products as the examples when you're wrapping them. Maybe wrapping odd-shaped things. So if you sell a balm or something that comes in a round container, people don't know how to wrap things that come in a round container. So maybe, or like lip balm tubes or something like that, they're not always the easiest things to wrap. So maybe you can have some gift wrap ideas where you either make a video, or you can just make some how-to steps with some pictures of showing them how to do it if you don't want to do a video, and use your own products as an example. And so they get to see your products, and then maybe put like a discrete link in there somewhere that says, like, if you're interested in this lip balm, you can click here. So that's another idea for a post. And you can also things for like decorating ideas around the house as well. That doesn't specifically have to be always about your products or about what people are shopping for. So if you have some holiday, the light just changed in here dramatically. I'm using natural light, and a cloud must have just come by. It doesn't always have to be about your products. So it could be just anything that is related to your target customer. So if you do have decorating ideas that you think would be helpful, so if your products are vegan, you could have vegan ways that you can decorate your house, and making. I saw somebody making the other day. They were cutting citrus fruit slices, and they were putting sugar on there, baking them in the oven. They were drying them out, and then they were using them as decorations. And I thought, wow, that probably smells really good, and it looks pretty when it's done. And it could be a great idea for someone who has maybe citrus kind of items in their products, or even vegan or vegetarian, or there's all kinds of possibilities. Or if your brand is kind of a nostalgic brand, where you have old Victorian recipes or something, and you can kind of come up with ways that you can decorate in that old-time way for the holidays as well. And you can also decorate your website in those ways too. So there are just a few ideas for ways that you can come up with blog posts that are holiday specific. And let me take a sip of water. And that are niche specific, so if you sell nail polish, I know some people on here make nail varnishes. You can do holiday looks for nails, and show really fun holiday type of styles, and then show the products that you used in the tutorial that you're doing. And of course, they're your products. or maybe you can recommend other people's products. Sorry, the light just keeps like crazy changing on here. I don't know if that's coming across on the screen. So there are a few kind of ideas, and even holiday treats. People love to bake around the holiday times, and if you can just think of ways that you can fit it in with the theme of your store and the theme of your blog, it just works. So anything that's for your target market, it doesn't have to be your products. And if you are a service person, like if you're a coach or something like that, you can also do things like one-time coaching sessions to get through the stresses of the holidays or things like that. Because really around the holidays, there are people who get so stressed out and they want to do everything at the last minute. And then there are other people who just are crazy excited for the holidays. So there's two kinds of audiences there that you can go after early on. Excuse me. Earlier in the holiday process, you can target those people who are really excited about about Christmas. And they want to decorate early, and they want to start listening to music early, before even Thanksgiving comes. And there are so there are things that you can start doing now for those people who just are so excited about the holidays. And then there are a lot of things you can do later on in the process for the people who are stressed and they just need you to solve their holiday problems. So think of things in two different ways like that. There's a lot of pre-stuff that you can do for preparing and decorating and things like that. The baking and all of the fun things and party ideas and early gift shoppers. And then there's the things at the last minute where you can be like, I can promise you that I can get this to you on time for Christmas Eve if you order by such and such a time. And ways that you can prepare your website is you can put things like, there are plugins where you can add a countdown, 27 days or whatever till Christmas, and it just keeps counting down to the absolute last possible time that they can ship a product and still get it in time for the holidays. Things like that are really helpful for people. And there are really simple things you can do too, like if you have a WordPress site, if you go into Jetpack, there's a little box you can check that says snow, and from a certain date in December until January sometime, just very lightly snow falls on your website. It's just a cute thing. You don't want to do anything that slows down your website during holiday time. But the snow falling is a cute little thing, and it's very unobtrusive, and it doesn't really slow anything down. Okay, so I don't see anyone live with me here yet, so there's probably aren't any questions. Okay, let me look at my notes here, and we'll go over some important holiday dates that are coming up. Because remember, Christmas is not the only holiday at the end of the year. So starting early, November 11th is Singles' Day, and it's a really big holiday in China where people celebrate the fact that they're single. Oh, hello, Beth. Thank you for joining me. Going over some holiday dates right now. So starting with November 11th is Singles' Day in China. It's a huge holiday there, billion-dollar holiday, where people shop for themselves to celebrate the fact that they're single and they don't really need to have a partner to, feel worthwhile. And it's a Chinese holiday, but it's starting to spread all around the world, and people shop like crazy on that day. So keep that in mind, that it's not super big in America yet, but it is getting there. So November 11th, write that down. Of course, November 23rd is Black Friday. So you want to have your website prepared in time for Black Friday. Have your products ready, have your blog posts already up by then. Small Business Saturday is the next day. It's November 24th. Cyber Monday, November 26th. Right after that, they all come boom, 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 right in a row. They're all big days that you can do things, write blog posts specifically for them, or have promotions that single those days out. There are a lot of things that you can do to prepare to hit those days on time. But also, there's Hanukkah, which is December 2nd through 10th this year. And there's Kwanzaa, which people celebrate from December 26th through to January 1st. And a lot of people like to celebrate the winter solstice or Yule, and that goes from December 21st all the way till January 1st as well. So not everyone celebrates Christmas. Not everyone celebrates Hanukkah. There are all kinds of holidays this time of year. And it's a good idea to try to include everyone in those kind of things. So, you you're not leaving anyone out. So it's not all about Santa Claus and ho ho ho, and not everyone is religious during the holidays, and not everyone is secular either. So there's a lot of different ways that you can come up with blog posts to kind of talk to all of those people. So let's talk about your blog in general, because we've talked about post ideas. We talked about the countdown timer for your absolute last shipping date. Now there are all kinds of plugins out there that you can do that, or you can do that yourself. Maybe in whatever program that you're using. A lot of different blogging programs offer things for the holidays. Make sure that all of your shipping policies and your return policies are up to date on your site. And maybe you change them at holiday time, so you might want to look at that. And maybe you ship quicker during the holidays. And some people like to ship within 3 days during the year, but during the holidays they might ship like in 1 or 2 days. So let people know that. It helps to relieve their mind when they're shopping if they know they're going to get things in time. Make sure your site doesn't have any broken links or broken images. So make sure everything's in good working order. So if people do find their way to your site and they're reading your blog and they want to hop over and look at your products, that all of those links work and they're not going to take them someplace where they get lost. A lot of times we copy blog posts so that we don't have to kind of build the whole thing again, and then we forget to change out all the links that are in there. You can also, in line with whatever your brand colors are and whatever the theme of your blog is or whatever you stand for as a brand, you can use those ideas to make your holiday graphics and promotions and things like that. And if you have a very elegant brand, you're not going to want to have Santa Claus and stuff all over the place. You might want to have Father Christmas, or something that looks a little more elegant, or you might want to just have sparkly Christmas balls or some lights or something, or wreaths or poinsettias or something that are just more elegant and more traditional Christmas or holiday. You don't always, you're probably not going to want to have jumping elves and stuff around like that. But if you do have a brand that is geared toward children or toward a more fun kind of theme, you do want to have those things because it fits in with your brand. So think about what kinds of looks that you want for your brand, and then you can use them in your promotions on social media. You can use them for your graphics on your website, and you can use them in your blog posts as well. Sorry, I keep drinking, but when I talk a lot, I have to keep drinking. Some other things that you can do is to make sure that you optimize your images on your site so that your load times aren't really long, because people don't have a lot of time. And if they come to your site and it's taking forever to load, they might just back out if they don't know who you are. I mean, if they know who you are, they might stick around and wait for that to go through. But if someone's finding you through search, or because they found a blog post and they want to see what you're offering, they're not going to stick around if things aren't working properly on your site. So things that you can do are maybe take your images. A lot of times we make images in a program like Canva or something like that, and we save them out, and they're beautiful, but they're really large files. So you can put them into some kind of file program like Photoshop or PicMonkey, or things that are, there are some free ones on the site. I use something called Pixlr. It's pixlr.com. It's free. It kind of works just like Photoshop. You can put those images in there, and then you can save the quality down a tiny bit. And for the web, it doesn't have to be a really dense photo. So you can make them a small photo. You can judge by yourself whether or not the look is changing when you're kind of pulling the slider down to a different DPI. But it will help. If it's a smaller file, it will load a lot faster on your website. So there are little things like that you can do to make sure that your website is running properly and running efficiently, because the faster that it loads, people won't even notice. But if it is slow, that's when they'll notice, right? Also, make sure that your site is mobile friendly, and that anything that you're building for the holidays looks good on mobile too. So you don't want to have these great big wide images that aren't going to display properly on a mobile phone, because so many people, more than 50% of the people who are going to come to your website now, are going to come on a phone or a mobile device. So you have to think about that. And again, the smaller images will work there. The smaller file size will work there better. But also make sure that, it's something that can think about how when you're scrolling, what it's going to look like. And some sites will give you, some companies will give you the ability to preview that before you put something live. But you can also just look at it really quickly on the phone yourself and see how it's looking, and make sure that it's working there too. Sorry, whenever I start talking, all of a sudden I start to get a tickle. Must be like a nervous thing or something. So the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about is setting goals for the holiday. So this isn't really specifically for your blog, but more for your business, because a lot of you have businesses attached to your blog. The group is Blog Your Brand. So as you can see here, which is probably backwards if you're looking on Facebook Live. But what does success mean to you? You know, set some goals for yourself. Are you trying to get a certain percentage more than you did last year? So set sales goals for yourself, maybe set page view goals for yourself, maybe set email sign up goals for yourself, and just maybe even for your social media campaigns, maybe you want to set goals for how many people will share your content and not just view it. Because the more people spread the word for you, the better you're going to be. You know, so set some goals for yourself, and then think about ways that you can hit those targets yourself. So if you want to get such a percentage more people to come to your blog this year, how are you going to do that? What kind of social media campaigns do you need to set up? Or maybe you want to run ads or something like that. But there are a lot of free ways that you can attract more traffic to your blog. Or maybe it means more blog posts or more keyword research or more keyword rich research, or really trying to dig down and get specific and try to come up with unique ideas that hit your target audience. So just think about ways that set your goals, and then think about things you have to do to hit those goals. And there are probably a lot of ideas out there for different social media campaigns. Maybe you can have some kind of contests online, or some kind of free game that people play or something, or a quiz that people take, or a freebie that you're offering that can attract people to your site. So if you're in business, you need to just not do things randomly. You need to set some specific goals for yourself and then try to hit those goals. And I think that's about it. Let me look through my notes here. I wanted to keep this short today because I know it's lunchtime for people if you're on the East Coast. But I think that I went over all of my points. And okay, so unless anybody has any questions, let me look on the website and refresh it and see if anybody wrote anything. If you think of anything later, you can always comment under where you see the live video in the Blog Your Brand group, and I will check back later too if you come up with any questions later. But if you have any now, please ask them. Because I think that's it. I think the holidays can be a really fun time and a really profitable time for people. And you just have to give it some thought ahead of time and a little planning, and try to come up with unique ideas that make you stand out from everyone else. Because a lot of people are selling products out there. A lot of people only want to go to Amazon, so how can you attract people away from companies like that? Maybe you sell on Amazon and that's fine. But how do you attract people to your own website? Or to whatever shopping program that you're selling on, and get them away from the big box stores and make the holidays easy for them. Beth says, I haven't started a blog for my business, but I would like to. Should I use the blog with my site, WordPress, or something else? It really depends. I always recommend WordPress to people because I just find it so easy to use and it's so versatile. And if you're not even sure what you want your site to develop into, WordPress can always move with you. With that, I think, with that said, there are a lot of people in this group that have a Shopify site and they use the blog that comes with that, and they're perfectly happy. So you really have to think about what works for you. If you're not super technical, you might want to use one of the ones that are easier to use like that. With a place like Shopify or I think Wix and some of the other ones, you're tied into their hosting as well. So whatever's available to you and whatever speeds that they offer for page load times and stuff like that, you're stuck with whatever they offer and you can't change. With WordPress, you have to host it yourself, so you have to find a hosting company, which can be a little scary for people, but it's really not. It's pretty easy. But you also can you have the ability to change if you don't like the way your hosting company is keeping up with the times, or if it's too slow, or if people complain about your site doesn't run that well, you can always move it someplace else. So you have a little more freedom there. So it's really up to you. If you're just starting out, you probably want to do something easy. It depends on what kind of business you have too. So if you're selling products, you can still have a Shopify site and then have a WordPress blog that is just the link, the blog link that people go to. So they're going to a different site, so it might be a little weird for people, but there are a lot of people on here who do use something like that and they're perfectly happy with it. So I don't want to force people to use WordPress because I think people think WordPress is a little scary. Personally, I use WordPress, and but you kind of have to know what you're doing to use WordPress. It's easy, but you have to be willing to learn a little bit. And when you're just starting out, you might want to try something a little simpler. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see, let me refresh and see if anything else came up. Okay, I don't see any more questions. So I hope you found this helpful. Oops, wait, I just saw something pop up. Thank you, it was very helpful. Oh, you're welcome, Beth. Thank you for joining me live. It's so much more fun when people are actually here live. I know a lot of people can't, nail themselves down for a specific time and they'll watch the replay. But it's always nice to have someone live. So I guess that's it. So I hope you find this helpful. I hope it gives you ideas to prepare for the holidays and how you can approach your customers in unique ways, and how you can have a great holiday yourself. So thank you very much for joining me. And again, if you have any questions, just write them below and I will check back later tonight, and I'll check again tomorrow, and I'll see if I can help you. Thanks. Bye-bye.